The Enhanced Games men's 100-meter final was supposed to destroy Usain Bolt's 9.58. Instead, it turned into false starts, loose shoes, angry sprinters, and one strange result. Fred Kerley still won the money, but the race exposed something nobody expected. The most enhanced race in sprinting did not look enhanced enough. The Enhanced Games men's 100 meters arrived with a promise that sounded almost impossible. This was not a normal track meet. The whole event was built around letting athletes use performance-enhancing drugs under medical supervision, then seeing how far the human body could go when the usual rules were removed. That is why the 100 meters became the main attraction. The event had money, controversy, famous names, and one giant target hanging over it: Usain Bolt's 9.58 world record from 2009. The organizers offered a large payday for the winner and a massive bonus for any athlete who could break the world record. The race had Fred Kerley, the 2022 World 100-meter champion and Olympic medalist. It had Emmanuel Matadi, Marvin Bracey Williams, Clarence Munyai, Reese Prescott, Muhammadu Fall, and others. On paper, that was enough speed to make people curious. But the real reason fans watched was the question: if a meet openly allows enhancement, can it produce a faster sprint than clean sport has ever seen? Las Vegas was supposed to answer. Instead, it gave a mess. Before the final, the whole story kept circling back to Bolt. Fred Kerley had talked about the world record falling. He had said fast things were coming. He had even floated wild numbers that made fans argue before anyone stepped into the blocks. Bolt's response was short and cold. When the talk reached him, he answered with one sarcastic word. Okay, that word told you everything. Bolt did not sound worried, and most track fans did not either. A 9.58 is one of the most untouchable marks in sports. To beat it, a sprinter needs a perfect start, perfect drive, perfect top speed, perfect weather, and a body that can hold all of it through the line. The Enhanced Games wanted people to believe the old limit was about to fall. That was the selling point. But there is a difference between selling a record chase and actually running one. The closer race day got, the more the 9.58 talk felt like a trap. If the time was not close, the whole event would be judged harder. And that is exactly what happened. The semifinal gave the event its best moment of belief. Kerley ran 9.93. Matadi was close behind in 9.95. Those were good times, not world record times, but real sub-10 performances from two serious sprinters. For a moment, the final still had a chance to feel big. Maybe Kerley had more left. Maybe Matadi could push him harder. Maybe the energy of the final would pull the race into something sharper. But the rest of the field already looked strained. Bracey Williams was far back in 10.33. Clarence Munyai ran only 10.80. The gap from the front to the back was huge, and it raised an uncomfortable question. If this was supposed to be the future of sprint performance, why did half the field look slower than expected? Still, fans gave the final the benefit of the doubt. Semifinals can be weird. Athletes can save something. Some runners need one race to wake up. Then, the final started, and everything got weirder. The final did not begin with clean tension. It began with confusion. First, Michael Bryan on the inside appeared to have a shoe issue, and the race had to stop. Athletes came out of the blocks. Time passed. Bodies cooled. Focus broke. Then came a false start. The runners had to reset. Then another false start. Again, the race stopped. But the strangest part was the lack of clear public information. Fans watching did not get a clean signal showing who had moved early. There was no smooth rhythm. The athletes looked restless. Kerley did not look pleased. That matters in a 100 meters. Sprinters build their bodies for one explosion, not 3 broken resets. Every reset can steal heat from the legs and sharpness from the mind. By the time the race finally went, the final already felt damaged. The clean world record dream was gone before the runners reached 10 meters. That explains why the race looked less explosive than the hype promised. When the gun finally held, the race quickly became what the semifinal had shown. Kerley against Matadi, with the rest behind. Kerley was controlled enough. He got through his drive phase, rose into the race, and stayed ahead. Matadi fought, but he could not pull past him. Kerley crossed first in 9.97 seconds. Any legal sub-10 is serious sprinting. Kerley won the race, took $250,000, and reminded everyone he is still world-class. Matadi finished second in 10.05. Bracy Williams was third in 10.39, with Fall, Prescott, and Bryan behind. But the problem was not whether Kerley was good. The problem was what the event had promised. The world record was not close. Bolt's 9.58 was almost 4/10 away. In the 100 meters, 4/10 is not a gap. It is another race. That is why the final felt strange. The winner did his job. The event did not. The awkward part was that the enhanced idea did not match the result. The event had been sold around the idea that banned substances, medical freedom, and prize money could unlock speed beyond normal sport. Then Kerley, who said he was not using performance-enhancing drugs for the race, won in 9.97 and beat a field where several athletes were connected to the event's enhancement model. That created a harsh visual. The cleanest story beat the enhanced story. It also made the slower times behind him look even worse. A 10.39 for third place in a race built around pushing limits was not the kind of result people expected. Some high school and college sprinters have run faster than that in normal competition. This is where the enhanced games met sprinting's hard truth. Drugs alone do not create perfect starts, fix race sharpness, or replace years of clean execution under pressure. Enhancement may change bodies, but the 100 meters still punishes bad racing. The honest view is not that the race was a joke. Kerley running 9.97 after multiple resets is still impressive. Matadi's 10.05 is not nothing. The start problems clearly hurt the chance of faster times. This was also the first version of the enhanced games. Production, officiating, athlete selection, and race flow may improve, but the criticism is also fair. If a competition promises to challenge the greatest sprint record ever, then 9.97 will not satisfy people. If the event sells enhancement as the future of performance, then it has to show more than one normal elite time and several weak results. There are also bigger ethical questions. WADA and mainstream sports bodies reject the concept. Many fans worry about health, fairness, and the message it sends to young athletes. Supporters argue that openness is better than hidden doping. That debate did not end in Las Vegas. It got louder. Even with the weird result, people watched. The men's 100 meters had huge online interest, and that matters because track always says it wants attention. The enhanced games brought attention, even if much of it came through controversy. Fans watched for different reasons. Some wanted Bolt's record to be safe. Some wanted chaos. Some wanted Kerley to prove a point. Some wanted the enhanced athletes to run impossible times. Some watched because the whole thing felt like a science experiment mixed with a prize fight. That is why the race became interesting.